that we're going to be talking about today is that of Adobe salaries, guys. So I came across, well, obviously a lot of us use Adobe products, whether that is Adobe Spark. I use Adobe Spark for my thumbnails. A lot of people use Adobe for Photoshop, for editing, Premiere Pro, and so forth. So great software company. One of those companies that's been listed as one of the best to work for out there in the Silicon Valley area, in the world in general, right? One of the other companies outside of Salesforce, right? That's highly ranked as a company that you can work for that is going to do well by their people and they consistently grow. Mr. Nix sent me a text the other morning. He was like, Antoine, you got to get up on that Adobe, right? I think I shared that with you guys before. The stock is around like $630 something. You know, he's a trader and he does really well on the finance side. So he hit me up, right? It was like, Antoine, you got to get on an Adobe. I bought some shares and that was up like 3%, right? I've always been following Adobe. I think the price of the stock is up there. There's a lot of things that's pulling back today, guys. So you should be looking at buying stuff. You should be looking at buying stuff if you have the cash available to do so. These are the times to absolutely dig in on the markets. But Adobe has just always been one of those companies that I've been fascinated by. And when I saw this article come up today, I was like, I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it because it's a great, great, great company. So what you can expect if you were to work at Adobe. Adobe's hiring 1,500 engineers, guys. 1,500 engineers, financial analysts, marketers, and more. And here are the salaries that you can expect. It's time to get that money, guys. Adobe typically lists at least 1,000 open jobs annually. Brian Miller, Chief Talent Officer, said engineering, sales, finance, and operations, marketing, customer experience roles are available. Employees in these positions can make over $100,000 a year. That's what they can do. They can make a whole bunch of money, right? And Adobe consistently ranks as one of the best places to work. The software company has been named one of Fortune's, Glassdoor's, LinkedIn's, and Indeed's top-rated employers, and has yet to encounter the workplace and company culture scandals of its tech peers. Right? You don't hear crap about Adobe, to be honest with you. You don't hear them having to go in front of the SEC or the government. You don't hear their CEOs having to do any of that stuff, right? You don't hear about lack of diversity. You don't hear about any of that stuff at Adobe. You know why? Because they do a pretty good job by their people. It is a reputable company to work for, and a company that produces a hell of a lot of good products and good services. After the third quarter, the company has 1,500 job openings listed on their career page, many of which offer salaries well over $100,000. And they hire globally across all functions and roles, including AI, machine learning, data scientists, cloud and mobile engineers, researchers, sales, right? And Brian Miller, who their chief diversity officer, says this all, right? So the fact that they got a chief diversity officer too, shows that they are at least looking at equitable positions across their company. So the 5 categories that they have here is engineering, sales, finance, operations, marketing, and customer experience. So here's the thing. You don't have to be in engineering to make, a lot of money in tech. You don't have to be in operations to make a lot of money in tech. You can be in marketing. You can be in finance and so forth. And finance is going to be something that we're going to be talking about on tomorrow. But let's talk about engineering, guys. Engineering. There are 640 open roles under the engineering category on Adobe's career page, over half of which are in the United States. So over 300 jobs that are engineers for Adobe, right? So for some of these roles, let's look at how much they are paying these guys. User experience designers, right? User experience are the folks who, care about the user experience of the customer when they're using the products, right? The Adobe Spark, which is a fantastic cloud solution that allows for you to create thumbnails and, you know, YouTube banners and all that sort of stuff, right? The user experience on that software solution is fantastic. So, you know, if you were a user experience designer, you would be looking at these tools or working on this software, trying to make sure that you're making it optimal for the end user, like myself, who uses it on a daily basis. Machine learning engineer, $172,000 a year. Data science engineer, $172,000 a year. Computer scientist, $157,000 a year. And guys, I'm gonna tell you like this, these are base salaries. These are base salaries that are paying a lot of money. Senior computer scientist, $154,000. Product manager, $184,000 a year. So a product manager is basically, you think about it, a CEO of a product, not of a company, but of a product. So if you have solutions like Premiere Pro, you have solutions like Photoshop, right? There's a product manager that's over that solution, and they are responsible for making sure that everybody in the company, right, works together to make that product better. Their whole goal is to take feedback on the product from end users, right, and make sure that they're improving the product. So they are the head of that product. They work with the services organization, the development organization, the customer experience organization, the customer support organization, the customer success organization, and they collaborate with them all to make the product better. That's their whole goal. Make the product better and continue to keep it competitive and continue to make it the journey of the product along the way better based on what customers needs and things like that. So that's what a product manager is, and that's what a product manager does. And it's a great role, because typically these guys start off in a technical role and then they work their way up and become more in a manager role. And these are the guys that really knows the ins and out of the product. And you see that they can make a whole bunch of money. Senior product manager, right? 175. Software developer engineer, 195. Software development manager, 205, guys. 205. Damn! Right? So you see these engineering roles, right? Going to school to become an engineer is going to give you an opportunity to make a whole bunch of money. We talk about that all the time. That's the reason why I talked about computer science and IT today, right? Because a lot of the folks in the computer science, if they go that route, like Professor Black Ops, they can take on most of these roles. They can do just about every one of these roles, right? They have to pick a path of where they're going to go, but a lot of them can, you know, jump in the journey of doing this stuff right here. Sales, let's talk about that, because that's another one that it will give you a huge opportunity to make a whole bunch of money. You don't have to be super technical. You just have to have good communication skills. You got to have some really good soft skills. You have to be able to build relationships with people. So the interpersonal skills, the teamwork and all of the other stuff. Sales is a fantastic industry to get into. You can make $1 million a year if you are really good in sales, or more. I know people who are doing over $1 million a year. I know people that are doing it, and they are doing very well by themselves and for themselves, and it's life-changing. In sales, I say this, right? I wouldn't have been in the position that I'm in today if I wouldn't have gone into sales. It would have taken me maybe 3 to 4 years working at a company to make the money that I'm making now that I'm in sales, and I've been in sales for the last 3 years. I've made, and a lot of you guys have seen this before by me sharing my personal experience with you, either in a coaching call or either on the Patreon, being completely transparent. The money that you can make in sales is a lot of money. I'm gonna tell you like this, if you do really good in sales, guys, you will make a lot of money. More money, to the point where, let me say this, to the point where the money that you would potentially pay in taxes or your tax bill, if you don't have the situation set up the right way, is more than what most people will make in a year's salary. That's how much money you can make if you do really well in sales. That's why I encourage a lot of you guys, if you aren't super technical and you're looking to be into tech and you want to help customers and you want to solve challenges, to get into sales, guys. It's a good industry to be in. And it's not like the car salesman type. We talked about SaaS sales in some of my prior videos. It's a good industry to be in. Good industry to be in, guys. So let's talk about the sales roles. Sales operation manager, $86,000 a year. Customer success manager, $97,000 a year. You can be in sales, in a sales organization, being in customer success. I've led large teams at the company that I work for, being a VP of customer success and a VP of customer support, over 191 people across the globe. Customer success, guys, is a really good industry or a really good role that you can get in as well, because what you're doing in a customer success role is you're making sure that your customers, the customers that, you know, bought your subscription software, don't leave you. How do you make sure that they don't leave you? Well, one, you want to practice empathy. You want to make sure that their needs are met, right? You want to make sure that they're getting the best use out of the system. You want to make sure that their needs are taken care of, right? And that's it, right? The whole thing is make sure they renew. They keep coming back and paying their yearly subscription, right? Their monthly subscription, right? They're happy, right? They have a voice, they have direction, and they're using your tool, right? That's what your customer success is about. It's not anything difficult than that. Yes, you're going to collaborate with other teams because they're going to have some product issues, and you got to be the person that escalates to other people and kind of herd cats here and there. But it's a fantastic career to be in as well, where you can make a lot of money. $97,000 a year being in customer success, responsible for renewals, and plus, depending on the company that you're working for, if they, give you commissions on top of those renewals, right? And here's what a renewal is for some of you guys don't know what a renewal is. Think about Netflix, right? Netflix charges you every single month. Let's just say it's $5 a month. Well, every time you pay $5 a month, that's a renewal. Well, for the software, the SaaS companies, software as a service, if they are on the annual subscription, right? Instead of them paying monthly, if they're on the annual, anytime that they choose to continue their subscription is a renewal. And let's just say it's $1 million every single year, because that's how much they're willing to pay for it. Well, if you get a commission on top of that renewal, you're making a whole bunch of money. Let's just say it's 2%, right? That's $20,000 on the $1 million. That's a good amount of money, guys. It's a good amount of money. So customer success is another role that you guys should be looking into as well. That's related to a sales organization, and it's very, very helpful and part of the overall operations as well. Another one, technical architect, technical consultant, $199,000 a year. Damn! Right? These guys are the people that know a lot about the product. A principal solutions architect, 119. Solutions architect, 172. Head of customer support, 196. Guys, and to become a head of customer support, this is a role that I've been in. All right? This is a role that I've been in. You're basically the head or the manager, the top manager of the company, and you're responsible for making sure that any issues that come up with the customer side. So for instance, if, PBO is using, the Adobe software and something crashes or something like that, right? And he sends a ticket in. The head of customer support is responsible for making sure that he has agents or support people or support personnel to resolve that issue for PBO. That's what a head of customer support is. They're making sure that they have enough people to support it. They make sure that they have follow the sun covered. So they have people in America, people in Latin America, or people in Europe, or people in Asia, whenever an issue comes up, because the solution is used worldwide, that they have the right people at the right time to take care of those issues. And it is a manager level position. And the only way that you can get there is you have to climb up the ranks to get to these positions. You have to go into management. But head of customer support, guys, head of customer support, $196,000 a year. That's not a technical role. That's a manager role. Yes, it can be a technical role. I did this role when, I don't even use tech like that anymore, because I just don't, unless it's for my personal use, right? But you can start off as an engineer and work your way all the way up to this sort of a position, and it pays a whole bunch of money. Let's talk about other ones, guys. Let's talk about other ones. Finance and operations, which is another one. Other roles as well where you can make a whole bunch of money. Internal auditor, $79,000 a year. Internal audit manager, $117,000 a year. Financial analyst, $139,000. Senior financial analyst, $139,000. As a financial analyst, $139,000. Business data analyst, $99,000 a year being a data analyst. Manager, business strategy, A manager of business strategy. Let me clarify that. $97,000 a year. Strategy partner, corporate development, 155. Director, strategic planning, 163. If you decide to go in the marketing route in these tech companies, technical writer, right? Somebody who doesn't have to be completely technical, but is really good in writing and English, right? $129,000 a year. Marketing specialist, 122. Marketing manager, 148. Manager of marketing and customer insights, 122. Senior manager of SEO. Many of you want to get into the SEO world. Many of you are good at it, right? You can do that for some of these companies and making $163,000 a year if it's for one of these bigger companies. Customer experience, right? If you want to go to the support route. Senior technology consultant, 122. Senior technical support engineer, 130. That's a good role. That's a fantastic role, guys. Going to allow for you to make the money, use your bonuses, save your money, invest in your 401ks or your Roth IRAs, or your Roth 401ks. It's going to allow for you to save enough money where you can start to invest in real estate, because that's what we do. We buy the assets that are going to give us a return, whether it's cash flow or equity. I prefer cash flow, right? It's going to allow for you to take care of your family, your wife, and your kids, send them to private school, right? It's going to give you a lot more flexibility in your life. That's why we talk about tech, guys. That's why we talk about getting to this money. And I talk about tech all the time because you can get to this money with tech. And here's the thing, you're going to be able to build a lifelong relationship. You're going to have something on your resume. You're going to be able to potentially start your side gig because you're going to want to get done or get out of tech eventually, right? Start your side gig on the side. Do that for a good 3 or 4 years before you want to get out of corporate completely. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is you're going to have money. And the only way you can do that is you're going to have a lot of money. So get in these tech roles, save your money, grow your money, invest your money so that you can do these things later on in life. The sooner the better. That's what we talk about it, guys.